Testing the sound. Testing the sound. Okay, good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Mo, Monica Mo Justice. All right, on my way to the throne, or otherwise, ah, I'm searching through my phone. I'm looking through some stuff. I see something called Amanda. No, it's a Tawanda. I don't even know how Miss Tawana's name became Tawanda or whatever, but whatever. Um, I had some mindless moments to waste because that's what I'm starting to view the time I spend listening to some of this stuff on here when there are more critical things going on in this world. I'm gonna come back to that thought, but just to remind me to talk about the more critical things going on in this world, more critical events. Nothing upsets me more than listening to my name um, be mentioned on somebody's platform. So this goes for any platform. Is when I hear my name mentioned on anyone's platform and it is not mentioned in a light most favorable to me. The information is inaccurate or it's a assault campaign on me. It's something that is personally intended to attack. Um, it's negative. I don't like to hear my name in that context. There are times I am a mature, educated individual. So I do understand when your name comes up in things as a matter of a fact, meaning that whatever is being stated at that moment, the reason why you come up, me, Monica Mo Justice, is because someone is presenting a fact. That is not the case here. So I think it's about time I just formally ask unspoken purpose to cease and desist lying on me. See, I can't take back that she don't like me and I don't like her. I can't take that back. I have to sit here and watch if I choose to watch. Um, people engage. But what I will not stand for is the continued misstatement about me and financial benefits from these folks on this internet. YouTube has a defined structure here, and I have always abided by that structure, which is get 1,000 subscribers, do 4,000 hours, or have so many, I don't know, uh, things related to what is those things called? Shorts, which I do not participate in. Um, and then you can be monetized. My goal since I pursued monetization was to always collect money from YouTube experience or YouTube revenue, the way YouTube prescribes it. I've never circumvented the process. When I deemed it appropriate, I turned on the membership, which is another um, stream of income in the YouTube platform. I am not familiar with something called Cash App being associated with YouTube. I have never received any Cash Apps from anyone on this YouTube. And I am very reserved on taking any money from anyone that's on this platform or that I've met on this platform. Period. I have never created any Go fraud means, which is our terminology over here to represent a Go Fund Me when anybody that was kinfolk to me passed away. I have never endeavored to pay for anything related to me through anybody that I've met on this YouTube. Period. It just doesn't work for me. Panhandling on the internet would be extremely difficult for me, especially because I am a proud individual in my personal life. I got friends who make way more money than me, live way better than me. I have friends that may not make as much money as me, who probably live a humble life in my personal, and we don't exchange money between us. I do have, though, a friend that does that I intentionally know when I go out with her that it is on me. I do know that. Period. And I'm good with that. So if I can, I will, and if I can, I don't. In your life, all of this stuff on this internet doesn't matter, but your name does matter, and how people defame your name does matter. Let me get to the statement that was made so that I could just clear up how it impacts me. Nothing else on this in this scenario concerns me, only where I was mentioned. In Queen Mosabi, I came to the lobby, so I am in y'all town. Shit just be annoying to me. I don't know how else to say it. Okay.
That shit. You don't have no videos of me falling in and out with the people that I fuck with. Nothing but motherfuckers that recently went over there with y'all and Paula. But y'all fall out with each other every fucking day. Get back together, fall out again. Friends to my y'all was over there on Monica shit just a couple of weeks, a few months, a couple of months.
Can't even figure it out. Can't even figure out what they was doing. I would believe that it is the terminology called phony kicking it. It's survival. That's what I believe those folks was doing. Wake up, cemetery. She's speaking on your behavior. To be clear, because I think I need to make this clear. I don't care about anyone on here personally. When I listen back, because the truth of the matter is, when people don't like me, I tend to stay away from them so I don't have to consume the negativity. That has always been my coping mechanism since I got here in 2018 on the platform. And it began the moment that I was recorded and it was presented to the world in the fashion it was presented in, with a group of people that I found myself bonding with. I maintained relationships with individuals from that era because of one simple thing: intent. And I never believed that what occurred was recorded in a malicious manner. I believe it was put out here by another person in a malicious manner because they had lesbian tendencies that I didn't share. And I immediately disassociated from that energy. And once upon a crime, somebody called me and said, "Hey Mo, can you go over here and see what's going down? Because these people is over here saying something." And I went and I handled that business. Still never to anybody's satisfaction, but to my satisfaction. And the world on here seen me. And they knew who I was since the inception of this community, that I do or I have created. The community, I was definitely here. I'm an OG in that. I wasn't supplanted here, get here and mixed in with folks. I was here. They know me. They know it. So I don't have to prove myself amongst anyone. But nevertheless, what this woman is saying to y'all as a whole, she's talking about your public displays of your affections for one another. She's talking about your struggles, your ins and your outs that y'all publicly air here for your own purposes. If it works for you, I say great. If it doesn't work for you, then I say whoa. But I did recently in 2026, or the late part, let's say December 2025. And I'm going to tell y'all exactly where my source is. I was going through communications between Alethea and myself, because I'm looking for the time that she told me that Louisiana Purchase, so that's going to be Lovely, had mice, rats, whatever. And she had rodents and roaches running around while she was cooking on live stream. They was watching it while they was on the live stream. Now I noticed that she was called to the carpet, so to speak, by Lovely, but I never really heard Alethea deny it emphatically or just gloss over it. I don't know if that question was posed to her directly, what I said, that she communicated to me that Lovely had rats and roaches in her live stream as they was watching whatever exposure was being done by what's that dude's name? I was about to call him Slowy, but because that's what Karen calls him, by Straight Drop and or Logic. I don't know which platform it was because I wasn't watching those people. But because I was looking for that, I was going through the communications between Alethea and myself from that period of time. There's about 3 phone numbers that I'm working through at my leisure. I haven't dedicated my life to it. I'm going through it. There's a lot of links to a lot of videos in there. And I'm gonna use a new terminology. I was appalled when I listened to some of the videos that she shared with me during that period of time that I now listen to in 2026. See, that's the good thing about guarding your energy and really being in tune to your own spirit. See, my inner voice won't allow me to consume things I don't need to consume until there's a time that I'm ready to consume it. Imagine had I listened to much of the content that she sent to me then, that you people spoke on me back then. Do you ever think I would have sat up here on platforms and spoke to y'all so nicely? Be able to be like, oh, let bygones be bygones without addressing the things that I did not know about? I would have certainly held you to the fire with what I heard or what I've been hearing. I even reached out to some of y'all on Gmail and asked y'all basically for a one-on-one. But most of folks today, emails get bounced back. YouTube says undeliverable because I guess y'all don't have storage space, whatever. You know what I say? I say thank you to my creator because I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't want me to have that conversation because it's better left unsaid. So when this woman makes commentary about anyone being on my platform that was phony kicking it, that's a reflection on your behavior that you need to sort through. It's not a reflection on my behavior. I'm always going to conduct myself in a ladylike composure as much as I can. I'm going to try my best to do that.
Months ago and talking shit about Joy, and then y'all all friends with Monica and Cash.
Talking shit about Joy. So I'm trying to figure out how to address the talking shit about Joy. I believe I've come live and I shared how I felt throughout this process when some events occurred with Joy, and people like you, Unspoken Purpose, and people like the Butterfly, uh I'm sorry, that woman is still gonna be a caterpillar, the cottonmouth caterpillar. Were running around here saying that Joy was having all these conversations with you guys, etc., that I did not believe were transpiring. I felt like you turned Joy into your own content for your own self-serving purposes, and I'm never going to change that based on the fact that I just believe that you should not have been speaking on that if it was a police investigation as you contended at that time. So it was not for content. I believe, let me say that a little better. But for it being content to you, you was making a mockery out of the situation that occurred with Joy. That is my personal opinion based on what I observed. Uh, and that's it. That's everything. So I came out here and I spoke out because things you said didn't match the information that I had. And I did not want people asking me questions about the things you were saying. They just didn't align with my experience. Now, I'm not going to say that the things you said were inaccurate because I don't know. I only could go on the information I was told. No one ever told me that you was lying, but I did advise Joy to tell you to shut the fuck up. But we all know can't nobody tell you to do that. And I don't think she was probably in a position to tell you to do that. So that was it. So if you feel like I came out here, I had a whole gay guy come out here doing stream after stream, cussing me out, telling me some kind of stuff I did to Joy. I had to ignore it because I know better. You know, it's the craziness. But yeah, for the internet, I definitely came out here and put my stance on the situation. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say as it relates to thing. Oh, panel. I observed a video that Joy did with you, and I took it upon myself self to do some editing. I didn't do a chop and screw, but I did take it, edit it out, and share my sentiments, specifically speaking to my cousin. Come over here, Vaughn. I heard Vaughn's video and I agreed in limited in a limited capacity about something she said resonated with me, and I made a stream on it. Now, just because the young lady decided to come over here and talk on the stream, and I tried to give her my honest advice, you know, Monica does me an advice giver, but I tried to give her my most honest advice and move on. I was not trying to be a friend of that young lady. Incidentally, I'm going to speak on one more item that happened while I was speaking to the young lady. We're talking about the Bonds reality channel. She invited me to play some game. I don't remember what the game was, but she was going to do a game night. And on that live stream, she said, "Yeah, you just need to have a Cash App." And I said, "Oh, no, I don't have one of those." Or she said, "Oh, you could do PayPal." Don't have that yet either.
Her and shit, and then boom, she say something you don't like, and all of a sudden she all kind of bitches and hoes. Y'all in and out with y'all black and lovely out every goddamn day and every other month, goddamn it. Blacking her ass out and dipping out of her chat and shit, and then y'all calling each other bitches and hoes and roach hoe and all of that shit, and then y'all back with her. Y'all fall in and out. When Gears came over here, y'all was calling him names and dragging him and dogging him and shit. Now y'all licking his ass. Every fucking time we turn around, y'all beefing with each other and falling out and making up. And that's your history. That's what you said. And it happens over and over and over again. But guess what? The people that like that kind of behavior did gravitate towards you, like the triples and the Anayas and the Sheeds and the Vaughn and your people. And Too Strong is one of your people. She thinks like y'all. She y'all. She is like y'all. Just break her in. You know what I'm saying? She really wants to be a opportunity.
Too Strong, stand your ground. I heard her say the other day she's not part of that sector. I'm gonna have to go back though, because I didn't hear all of that when I heard it. So on my way to the bathroom, I'm just looking for the part where you keep telling people that they Cash App me.
Going to blame ever again. If you pull something up and from the past that triggered you and all of that kind of stuff, it wasn't no real forgiveness in the first fucking place. You just said it. You didn't feel it. I don't understand this woman.
And he was like, "Oh, okay, okay, okay. Now I get it."
All right, I don't want to hear Mr. Warner thing on here either.
But I don't understand what she did to you before. You already know I don't fuck with no damn Amanda Dub. But I don't understand what when you say forgive her, what did she do to you? What did Amanda do to you prior to all of this that you're saying that she was, and I don't even know how she was the one talking shit about you behind the scenes. But you say you didn't even talk to her on the phone.
Well, I'll wait till I hear my name again and I'll come back to that part. It's just hearing people gave me Cash Apps and shit just be annoying to me. I need you to stop in your narrative speaking things you don't know about as if you know about them. And that's all I've been saying. When I say it's cemetery business, it's disingenuous, unspoken purpose for you to do content from your perspective without having the actual facts. I wouldn't care that you talked up and down about a group or behavior that you've observed, etc., if you were speaking from a factual basis and making those determinations. Point in case, when I first heard you speaking on me in the negative, calling me weak and all of these other things that you said that I heard you say when Karen was playing back your commentary. When you was trying to pit Karen as being the most wonderful thing out here in the world in terms of her analysis and her standing firm with Joy, because Monica cannot stand Joy. Like, I listened to you, and that's further from the truth. I can appreciate what is an opinion if it was based on some kind of fact. You're assuming stuff and drawing a conclusion from that. And you're feeding it to people in hopes that they agree with your statements. And the reason I know that to be true is because when I listened to Mimi on the platform talking to Too Strong commented on me in the same negative way that you were on your platform speaking on me at that time. The weakness. This is what you told your followers, your supporters about me. Now, I won't blame you that they don't come to their own conclusion until later on after the fact, or that they only depend upon your account of what somebody is like. I've never had a following that corrals around my words as if they were speaking to a goddess. I never had those type of people around me. When I had influencers around me, they were contributors to the discussion, yay or nay. And it was understood that that's how communications would be. They were not zombie-like. They were not people that just walked around and anything I said was fact. They were contributors, which meant that there was an open dialogue. It's not my place to criticize anyone's following. I'm pointing this out because I'm always curious about critical thinkers. Critical thinkers cannot be manipulated by a voice. Now, this is going to be my stance for the remainder of time. I've said it prior, but I haven't really stood on it. This unspoken account is a troll. Period. She has no face. I've been on this platform or became acquainted with her since 2023. Maybe late 2022, maybe December, November 2022. I haven't gotten a timeline for me together as to when I went on Joy's panel and met Mad and the different people that were over there with Joy at that time, because I didn't even know there was a Mad until that day I entered the platform and was like, no, I'm not gonna volunteer my platform for y'all to have a platform where you can have a conversation with Lovely. No, I'm not doing that. So I was just very clear on that. I've never seen this woman cammed up on a live stream. The unspoken account. I've never seen it cammed up on a live stream. So any pictures and all that other stuff that you guys purport to be her and she claims is her is nothing to me. And this is not a challenge for anything. I'm just saying I've never seen her, so she is a troll to me. Mm, and a dangerous troll at that. I don't know about her being anybody's grandmother. To that extent, she's also just trolling because that's y'all terminology. If I hadn't seen it in full works in the last week, I seen people troll in the construct of what y'all call trolling. I've actually seen it now. I've heard people mention it like, oh, this person is trolling me, this and that. But now I've seen it in its application. In this stream, also what I heard her saying that they doxed Nunya. Yeah, that was all nice in 2023 when y'all was supposed to bring that out. Maybe it was 2023, maybe it was 2024. It was 2024 May. We was supposed to be waiting these timelines that you wait for for them to come to fruition. We were supposed to wait till May when it was gonna be the Nunya birthday for them to release the information on Nunya. Now today, we're led to believe that Nunya's been doxxed because Nunya's channel got a strike and Nunya decided to counter the strike, and the information that she provided in the counter gave them the material to dox her. It was her one mistake. I cannot go through a 15-hour live of Reckless. But once upon a crime, I sat there and listened to people say everybody was Nunya, as if multiple people operated that one account. So the best way to define Nunya in my purview is she's a troll, he's a troll, it's a troll. It could be a friendly troll to your platform if you incorporate it as that, or it could be your worst nightmare as being a troll. I know the other day that Trey wanted it to I just thought it was so whatever. He wanted to hear its voice on the platform. So it seemed like there was going to be a Nunya moment, if ever. I don't know if it's dox free or not. I don't know if they successfully doxed it and went on a platform and put that information out, because you would have to be in tune to all these live streams in order to verify the claims that people are making. Who has time for that when we are living in a world where more critical events are taking place? Someone's loved one may have been kidnapped, because another loved one owed somebody some money. Imagine that. In this real world, you got people, you got a newscast, you have a news anchor pleading for the safe return of her mother. No one's making content of that. That's going to definitely become a criminal case. One I would love to cover. You've got the arrest of Don Lemon. People screaming from the rafters that it's a First Amendment violation. When he's sitting in a space, copiously sitting in a space that we are occupying as well. He's no longer a newscaster, he's a YouTuber. Mainstream media has thrown out all of these anchors, media personalities, reporters. They threw them out. You got him, Don Lemon, you've got Joy Reid, all sitting here on the platform called YouTube, putting out information. You got this other lady, Banfield, over there, who was sitting on a network that I didn't realize that her last name was Banfield, but she was on Banfield. Nevertheless, she's over there streaming now outside. Now she's a YouTuber. They all tapped into this YouTube money. It's the same way the actors and the actresses tapped into this YouTube money when they came up here and they started making platforms and cooking, and you had the celebrity cooks, etc., tapping into the revenue from the YouTube, able to build their platforms because they already had name recognition. The reason why Don Lemon, he is now representing independent media, that new media that the Sylvia channel was talking about as she was covering the YSL trial and fighting for her survival over there. Though I have my differing opinions as it relates to should he have been arrested, people want you to follow it as a First Amendment violation, that this administration is violating the First Amendment. Now, this administration is definitely going rogue on their I just on their I don't even know. It's so many things that they're doing wrong, just that's just unlawful, but because they're in charge, they're just getting away with it. What Don Lemon was charged with is a conspiracy charge. And if you was following the YSL trial, and if you're following how they are destroying Black equity, right? The ability for Black folks to make independent money from the status quo, right? These are record industry people who didn't go to the established entities in order to make their money, even though it appears that some of these rappers did have contracts with big names. But nevertheless, whenever the Black man or woman decides to have independence from the system, you see them trying to stifle their ability to make money. So Don Lemon, he's engaged in what the government has characterized as a conspiracy. The only conspiracy is to ensure that we don't have revenue, that we don't become too big. So that conspiracy charge is of a concern. It's bigger than just being violating someone's First Amendment, walking into a church. I mean, the whole act it's crazy to see a group walk into, when they first said Black Lives Matter was getting themselves involved in the Minnesota situation, I didn't really understand why. But to see them storm the church, and I'm just thinking about what will happen in Black churches if if Black folks are allowed to storm white churches. What's going to happen when white churches decide to storm Black churches and engage in the same campaign? Somebody, even though Dylan Roof, when he went into that church and Black people were praying, and he decided to assassinate them after they welcomed him in with humble hands, prayerful hearts, and he took their lives. It's a weird world we living in. It's just, all of this stuff is just weird to me. I would love to be sitting here talking about that type of content with like-minded individuals who are examining that type of content, not sitting up here begging for the stuff that comes with this territory that we know, the stuff that's prevalent in this sector. One day I really hope to be free so I can have those discussions. The only way I get to that freedom is when people really remove me from their construct. I cannot unwrite history. If I participated in something, I was there. But I will not, and when I find it, I'll clip it and put it out here. But I will not be sitting still to somebody saying that I accepted cash apps from anybody, that people were cash apping my platform. That's just annoying to me. To even say that is just, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Last but not least, too, I'm thinking about something else. When I came up here to help somebody, or I suggested that I could help somebody file a police report. And again, I just continue to say, I've always looked at it from the perspective of I wasn't giving the community the information that they needed to know. And they tried to tell me that they had a right to know more than I knew. And people just wanted to have that information that I had. I never really looked at it from a perspective that people were hating on me. I never really looked at any of the folks that were in the community, which is the sector. I never looked at the sector as being fond of me or overly in love with me. I've never had those false opinions of how people felt about me, because I watched them from 2018 turn. It's amazing when I sit back and I listen to folks, limited edition specifically, tell me, oh no, I was in your room in the beginning And I left when Faith and them made the accusations and et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for the history lesson. Because I didn't realize you was there because your impact was not significant for me to you was just a pass. Most of us are just passing each other in this process, and that is okay. It's okay to not know everybody. I work in a company that probably has like thousands, maybe tens of thousands of employees. I only know the core people that I engage with. I don't know all 10,000 employees. That would be impossible. That's the same thing on this free app and building content. You're never going to know who the 1,400 people subscribe to you all are. You're not going to know who you're impacting. You don't know who they are. You don't know why they selected to subscribe to you other than to hear what you had to say. Or maybe it was an instruction at the time and they just followed it. But one day, depending on what you produce, one can hope to have supporters that want to engage with you with the content that you're putting out. I had accounts in here recently, subscribers come into my chat and suggest that we resume the book club. And I said, all right, send me y'all suggestions. I received none other than the ones that was put in the chat. I looked on my comments to see if anybody wrote a comment somewhere else so I could see what kind of books folks were thinking about. It didn't come to fruition. This is not what folks want. I don't have the right support. And when I did have the support that I had, I made choices for me because I saw people being, I'm not going to say people, I made choices to support people that other people were not so happy to have around them. And that person being Karen. They just, I'm thinking how to say this the most correct way. Because Karen has accused half the damn world of behaving like Lovely, that the world is upset. But the truth of the matter is that behavior is prevalent in this sector. So it's not just Lovely's behavior, that doxing, that that continued aggravated harassment where you just can't move around and leave a person alone. It's not isolated to Lovely's behavior towards Karen. You can see that in a lot of folks as they use the new terminology, as they crash out. When Trey sat on his platform, or he was over there with his co-host, when he was up there to, I think it was New Year's Eve, and they were speaking on the community. Trey told his supporters, yo, y'all could be over there in that sector over there. Just don't write in the chat, because them people are gonna dox y'all over there. Imagine that. Someone is elevated to a level of being leadership, but he's giving stark warnings to his true supporters. I listened to the coho over there upset because people that super chat her were over here super chat Monica. Now, I think when this woman that don't speak but speaks all the time, the unspoken purpose account, the troll, says Cash App, I believe she's referring to the super chat. Imagine that people that don't need, so I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to a troll. I don't even know her eco-social stance. So I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt. That don't need to watch anybody else's pocket find themselves on a live stream watching people collect super chat. With the anger, as if someone stole some money out of their mouths. I don't know what it is about speaking on folks panhandling behind the scenes with their cash apps. I just don't want to be in that category because it has never occurred. Should be crazy to me. I think I said what I intended to say for the evening. When I find it, I'm gonna take my little whatever this is avatar I've made that represents what I see in my head of a woman that I've never seen before, and I will have it convey the super chat, the Cash App moment. I will make sure that I have it do it, but I want it to stop unspoken. I want it to stop. That's not factual. Oh, I forgot to speak on Michi. I'll save it for its own live stream because she mentioned in her video that she acknowledged the concern I raised and looked at it from, she provided details about how she came to use the terminology and that she reflected on it differently based on hearing what I said and taking the further consideration of what her intentions was behind it. But she said that I was being petty in the other stuff that I said. I wasn't woman like. Girl, bye. You, Michi, said that you were going to the police to file a complaint against me, Monica Mo Justice. You, Michi, asked people on your live stream to provide you with my government name. You wanted the doxing information. Although I heard you several streams back talk about Eric Brown's findings, and you did not like it's when I say Eric Brown's findings, because this is a fact, based on your live stream. I don't know if this is what Eric Brown did because I didn't observe it for myself. But based on your live stream and what I heard you saying in your live stream when you was down with the real Yvonne and she was in the chat giving you information, you already have the information that you needed to go to the police. So am I being petty because I mentioned that you were going to file some charges against me? Is that me being petty, or is it you being petty? Yeah. How about that part right there? Is it you being petty? I think it was. You cannot come out here and say and threaten police actions on folks that ain't really do nothing to you. You said on that video, I don't care. The lady was like, Minchie, turn your camera off. You was like, I don't care. Let them see this. All right, we saw it. All I did on my live stream with my chat was try to identify the items that were displayed, the clutter, the debris that was displayed that you didn't care about. That's all we did over here. All you had to do was go listen for yourself. So I'm always ready to defend what I saw and what I did on my platform. And I will have to hand it to the people that were present that night because they was like, no, leave the value, because I only wanted to show the debris. I didn't want to listen to your voice with it. Anyway, I'm going to take myself back to bed. I don't got time for anything, really. I'm going to take myself back to bed, listen to some more Savannah coverage, because I had an interesting conversation at work about this thing. Some of the things I said came to fruition. I'm just going to remind everyone that I do have a career. I have a career. I have 2 additional streams of income that I'm managing. So it just be a lot for me right now. So this YouTube is definitely not the top priority. But maybe one day I'll get to the point where it is a top priority. Oh, today is the 5th. Oh. Well, and as storylines go, I believe somebody might be in labor right now or approaching, but I don't know. That's Karen's content. Are you hearing me loud and clear? That pregnancy stuff, scandal, I said when it came to the reality that I did not want any part of it. And I meant what I said then. But happy labor and delivery. This is Mo. I've got to go.